New York is one of the most famous cities in the world. Most tourists will most likely have New York in their bucket list, and they will never be disappointed upon visiting. It is a really fun place to be, with so much to do. However, there are too many people in New York City, and as a result, the climate has become one of the most affected. Also, given the many people in the city, a lot of electricity is consumed. Most of this electricity is being produced by burning fossil fuels, and this is making the climate even worse. However, New York has recently decided to go green with a master plan that will ensure that they are producing zero-emission electricity by 2040. So, what is this master plan? Hello, and welcome back to our channel Future Planet. In today's video, we're going to talk about New York's master plan for zero-emission electricity by 2040. But before we continue, just take a moment to subscribe to our channel Future Planet for more amazing videos just like this one. And with that, let's take a look at how New York is planning to go green. Most recently, it was discovered that two large new infrastructure projects are being planned in New York, and they are expected to dramatically reduce the state's greenhouse gas emissions. These projects were announced by the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul. She announced the signing of two major clean energy contracts for the state, which are Clean Path New York and the Champlain-Hudson Power Express. It has been said that with these two projects, they will manage to reduce New York's dependence on fossil fuels by more than 50% by 2030. This will put the state way ahead in achieving its longer-term goal of having zero emissions by 2040. With these developments, the state is bound to deliver about $5.8 billion in overall societal benefits. In addition to that, they will be delivering about $8.2 billion in economic improvements all over the state. The first project, which is Clean Path New York, consists of more than 20 wind and solar power generation projects, which are all located within New York State. All these projects are along a new underground transmission line that is about 175 miles long. The New York Power Authority, or NYPA, and Forward Power, which is in fact a joint venture between Energy Re and Invenergy, are both partnering to make this $11 billion project work. This project will deliver 3,800 megawatts of renewable energy, with 2,000 megawatts being generated by wind and 1,800 megawatts being produced by solar. The environmental benefits that will come with this will be substantial. They will not only improve air quality, but they will also remove about 49 million tons of CO2 emissions. In addition to that, there is a new high-voltage direct current HVDC transmission line that is being built underground. It is expected to be more resilient than traditional overhead transmission in the face of increasingly extreme weather events. This will always ensure a more reliable power flow to the communities and businesses, all while reducing the cost that would come with storm repairs. The new line will make use of the existing rights-of-way to mitigate the environmental and community impacts of construction. The existing transmission network is already congested enough. Because of this congestion, it prevents clean energy produced upstate from getting to New York City. There is a vast majority of power being supplied by old fossil-fueled fired plants in New York, since it is the only way to ensure that the state has enough power for each building. This issue will now be handled by Clean Path New York as it accelerates the transition to a clean energy future. In addition to that, it will create about 8,300 new jobs as it saves ratepayers millions of dollars each year in energy costs. The second project to receive the green light is the Champlain-Hudson Power Express, or CHPE, which is said to cost about $4.5 billion. The high-voltage direct current HVDC that runs through underwater and underground power cables will be used to connect New York to Hydro-Quebec, which is a Canadian energy company that will generate electricity from water, wind, and other renewable resources. This power cable is said to run for about 546 kilometers, roughly 339 miles. Once this project is completed, New York City will receive about 1,250 megawatts of clean energy. This dependable all-season source of mostly baseload hydropower could potentially provide a near-term option that would work towards replacing the fossil fuel power plants that are currently dominating the city's electrical supply. The project is expected to help get rid of about 28% of all the greenhouse gases that New York City wants to get rid of in the future. This is because it will cut carbon emission by about 37 million metric tons. With the speculated drop in harmful air pollutants, it is equivalent to destroying 15 of the city's 16 peaker plants. And even though they are operational for less than 10% of the time, these peaker plants have a disproportionate effect on the communities as well as the environment. Most of these peaker plants are at least 50 years old, and some of them even run on some of the dirtiest fuels. They are mostly located in the poorer areas of the Bronx, Brooklyn, and Queens, mostly near public housing developments where there is a higher concentration of low-income residents living there. Most of these peaker plants will emit pollutants such as NOx, SOx, PM2.5, NH3, and other volatile compounds. All of these excretions are harmful to human health, and they contribute to respiratory issues and premature death. These plants are also pretty expensive when it comes to operating costs, and this will add to the local energy bills. The CHPE could displace all of the fossil fuel power generation from peaker plants, which could help to address the level of environmental injustice that exists in these areas. In addition to that, the project will help save lives and improve the overall health of the population with cleaner air as it makes energy more affordable. It is estimated that it will cut electricity costs by more than $17 billion during the first 25 years of operation. This is said to generate tax revenue of about $1.4 billion for local communities. During its construction, this new power line is expected to create about 1,400 new jobs. Overall, it will give New York's economy a $3.5 billion boost. Eric Adams, the New York City mayor, said, "This is a historic milestone in our mobilization against climate change and the fight for environmental justice." On the day of the announcement, Mayor Eric said that they are starting to dismantle the disparate access to renewable energy that has plagued New York for so long. He even said that the most affected communities are those that live in the shadows of the oldest, most polluting power plants in the state. He said, "Not one but 2 new transmission lines will be built to bring clean renewable energy from the north into New York City, a feat that has not occurred at this scale in decades." I want to applaud the Commission, NYSERDA, and Governor Hochul for taking this bold action, and I look forward to continued partnership with the governor to tackle climate change. Gary La Barbera, the president of the New York State Building and Construction Trades Council, said that environmental policy, economic policy, and public health policy are strongly linked. He then went on to say that this was the reason Clean Path New York is a win-win situation for the state, because it will be delivering renewable energy, good-paying jobs, and clean air to the people of New York. He finished off by saying that this decision to start these projects was a huge step toward a green economy that supports New York's working families and builds middle-class careers with benefits. With these 2 projects, New York will now be closer to their plan of having zero emissions by the time we get to 2040. The projects are bound to reduce all the fossil fuel usage that is all over the state that is being used to produce electricity and other things. After all, the state has already started adapting to electric vehicles, which have proven to be very efficient. What do you think of the plans ahead? Feel free to let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel Future Planet and hit the bell icon for more intriguing content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.